Guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a half up, half down style on myself. Y'all know I don't like to waste y'all time, so we jumping straight into it. First, I'm going to part my front section of my head by using the back of my ear as a guide, and I'm going to go all the way over to the other side. I don't spend too much time parting my hair because my ponytail is going to be mid. It's not going to be up, so you're not going to be able to see my part anyway. If you're struggling with parting, you can use a mirror to see the back, or you can just consider just going straight across, not lifting your comb. That's something that we learned at cosmetology school. If you lift your comb too many times trying to perfect it, that will lead you to a crooked line more than just going straight across. Okay, y'all know I don't play about my hair care, so I'm going to oil my hair before I braid it up. Just focusing on the back section because the front section we're going to flat iron, so we don't want it to be oily. I split my back section in two just to have more control over the area that I'm going to braid, and then I split that one section into two. So you're gonna have 4 sections if you do it like this, and I'm just braiding my braids straight down. Now if your hair is longer or thicker, you may want to consider maybe 6 or 8 braids, but this is good enough for my hair, so I'm gonna do 4.
Just a mirage. Thought I was seeing things when I was seeing green. 6 God CMB. Yes sir.
I didn't consider the fact that I may have needed rubber bands to keep my braids from unraveling, but I just braided them down again because I'm going to go in with my cap anyway, so they're going to be tucked away. As you can see, I was greasing my scalp because it can get itchy under a quick weave. You may want to consider that because hair care is always a priority. Now I'm going in with a black stocking cap, and y'all know how I do. I'm going to cut my ears out so the cap can lay flat against my scalp. When you go in to cut your ear out, start with a small hole and see how that feels before going in again to make it wider, because you may expose your hair and you don't want that. You want it to be protected with the cap and the bond when you go in with that. So this is how it should look once it's done, and you know I always make sure that kitchen is tucked all the way in. No strand left behind. Going in with my 30-second Salon Pro bond, I'm using a mirror to see where my hair is parted at so I don't get it on the hair that I'm going to flat iron. And this was a little difficult. I don't know, my coordination was not coordinating, but I just took my time. So just consider that when you're doing it, because you may be looking in the mirror and feeling like you're going in the right direction, and whole time you're going in a direction you don't need to be going in. After I got that area near my part cover, I just went in and poured it around the back side, and then I also used the mirror just so I could make sure I wasn't getting it on my neck or just being too messy. And this is how it should look once you're done. And then you're going to sit under the dryer for about 15, 20, and maybe even 25 minutes. The bottle says 15 minutes, but I always just stay a little bit longer just to have that extra heat. I'd rather stay under longer and it be dry than to get up early and your quick weave falling out. I'm gonna play a small clip of how it should sound once it's dry. It's gonna have like a papery sound. Didn't want to play the clip too long because I don't want to be copyrighted, but yeah, it's going to have that crispy papery sound. That's how you know it's dry. So once it's dry, you're going to cut off the extra pieces of cap that's behind the ear and leave the top part there. Now shout out to whoever came up with this idea. So basically, once your hair is ready to go into the ponytail, you're going to fold that top half back. So I'll explain more of that when it's time to do it. The hair that I'm using came from a wig that I previously made for myself, so the wefts are already cut up. I just separated them by length, and now I'm going in to see what fits, because you guys know when you're doing a quick weave, you have to measure the area that you're about to apply the weft to, cut it, and then glue it. But since it's already cut, I'm just making sure that it fits and align with my cap in the area that I'm going to be applying the wefts. For this half up, half down, I'm not going to have any leave out. I'm going to have the top ponytail, but I'm not going to have anything that covers the wefts because the ponytail will cover that. So for installing the wefts, you're just going to do them straight across, and as we close in at the top, we're going to curve them downward, and you'll see that once I close it out. But for majority of the back half, they're just going to go straight across, and this will allow them to just fall down and cover one another as I go up in the section. So I hope that makes sense, but you guys will be able to see it as I do it. I'm going to speed this section of the video up, and then I'll come back in as I'm closing out so you guys can see exactly what I mean. So right about here is where I begin to do my wefts going downward instead of straight across, just to close in the back half of my hair. Now I'm going in with the last row to cover the tracks, and once you glue this one, you shouldn't be able to see none of your tracks on the edges. And then I'm going to pull back the top half of my cap. So now I'm going in with some heat protectant anti-frizz mist to flat iron my hair. And again, like I was telling y'all earlier, the reason why I pulled the cap back instead of cutting it all the way off is because I'm pulling my hair back into a ponytail and I'm going to mold it, and this just helps prevent the hair that we glued in the back from getting caught into that ponytail. Now that the front half of my hair is pressed out, I'm going to brush my hair back to where I want my ponytail to sit. Because I have that cap still there, it's easy for me to pull my hair into a ponytail without getting my extensions in the back caught into it. If you know, you know that it's so annoying. Now y'all know the edges makes the style, well, at least for me anyway. So I'm going to part out the section of my hair that I'm going to style for my swoops, and then I'm going to try Kimbra's Firm Hold Spray. I normally use what's it called? Got to Be Glue Spray, or I use Pump It Up, but because I had this, I said let me just try it out, test it out, and see how I like it. Or any ponytail that you do, you want to really take your time. So I spray in small sections, use my big edge brush to brush it in, and then I use my blow dryer on warm to mold the hair in place. And I just hold it there until it's completely dry, and then I just repeat. After I molded down the front half, I'm going to take down my ponytail just to smooth out everything that I brushed back, and then I'm going to do it again, and then just go in to spray it a few more times to make sure everything is locked into place. Now, once I upload this video, it'll be a couple weeks since I've had this style. I will say that that spray actually did a really good job. I'm surprised. I went to the gym for like a whole week, and by the middle of my week 2 is when my hair really started to look bad. I just kept a sweatband on and left it on until my edges dried up, and it was pretty much still intact. So I don't know, I might be using camera spray from now on. It just really depends on the price of everything. I personally feel like Got To Be Blue spray is just a little too harsh. And Pump It Up, it does really good sometimes, but I feel like it gets soft really quick. So the Kimber spray, like I said, it held it down for a week and a half. Probably would have been 2 weeks if I didn't work out. So if you a stay-at-home girl, you don't do too much, you probably could get a good 2 weeks out of this. So yeah, after I tightened up my ponytail and cleaned it up, I'm going to cut off the extra pieces of the cap that is behind my ponytail. And as you guys can see, there's no weft showing, no hair needed to be left out to cover the wefts. Everything is concealed. Moving on to the last major part of this style, I'm going to braid my ponytail and wrap it into a bun, and this is just prepping it to add some more extensions to it. After I wrapped it into a bun, I'm just taking a Sanex strip to protect my hair, and then after I wrap this around my hair, I'm going to put a rubber band around it. I just feel like putting the rubber band gives it structure, it holds it in place, and I done had some experiences where my ponytail, I guess, was too heavy for the Sanex strip and it slid right off. So I don't know, this technique of putting the rubber band on there just holds it in place longer. Now I'm going to take some hair glue and just put it all over that Sanex strip that we wrapped around our ponytail. I personally find that this is easier to do for ponytails versus putting the glue on the weft, because sometimes if you're wrapping it yourself, the glue can get caught onto other pieces of the hair, and we don't really want that. This is just the easiest way for me, and I feel like it'll be an easy way for you guys too. After that, you're going to go in with your weft and start at the bottom and wrap all the way to the top. So like I was telling y'all earlier, my wefts are cut up, so I'm going to wrap this one until I don't have any more left, and then I'm going to continue where I left off with another piece until I can close out my ponytail. Once I get to the end of the weft, I just put a little bit more glue at the end and then press firmly down to make sure it's secured in place. And then after that, I'm going to take some hair from the bottom of this ponytail, apply some Got To Be Glue gel, and then wrap it around to cover the base so that you don't see the weft. When you apply the gel, you want to smooth it out all the way into the end, and sometimes I comb it in too, just so that when I wrap it around the ponytail, it has a really smooth base. Now I'm not gonna lie, this is a little difficult to do on myself because I'm trying my best to not get my ponytail caught into wrapping the strand around. Versus when I have a client, I'll have them hold the ponytail up, so I'm not struggling like you see me doing in this video. So yeah, I was struggling once I got to the end, but I don't know, I just finessed something and I was like, okay, we gonna go with it. Because honestly, once you blow dry it in place, it gets stuck, so it ain't going nowhere. And lastly, for the baby hairs or edges, because somebody might be in my comments like, that's not baby hairs, that's adult hairs, whatever it is, or whatever you want to call it, it just adds a little something to the style. And yes, I use a razor to trim down some of these hairs so it could lay smoothly, just somebody else. So I'm taking my pencil iron and I'm doing a really tight curl towards my face. I'm going to do that for all my little pieces that I left out in the front. Next, I'm going in with some edge booster because this is my favorite edge control at the moment. And I only put it at the very top. And then I use my edge brush to do like a C motion, and then I just flick it. I don't smooth it all the way to the end because I like to have like a fluffy type of vibe going on. And like I said, you're only going to get that by only putting edge control at the very top and then smoothing it from there. Now, if you don't get it perfect the first time, like you see me doing this video, it's okay. Like, look at me struggling with this curl. You want to keep going at it until you get it the way that you like it. So as this video comes to an end, I like to remind you guys that I am using hair from my hair collection. I've had this hair up to a year now. I've used it for a sew-in. I used it for a wig. I took it apart from a wig, and now I'm using it for a quick weave, and I plan to definitely use it again. So make sure you check out my hair at www.humblytouch.co. I'll leave everything in the description below. And also make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let me know what other styles you guys are interested in seeing me do, or if there was something else you wanted to see from my hair collection. But that's it. Bye.